Hey guys! So, this is my first Impact series video, and it is how the TV show Glee, impacted my life, and my little generic cheap Glee shirt because I'm broke and yeah. Anyways, um, so yeah, people already know that Glee is, a huge success, a huge unexpected success, because, I mean, how many times has a musical theater TV show ever been successful? None, except maybe when the musical theater was in its golden age. Anyways, um, so yes, I'm one of those people who's like really into it. I haven't seen the fourth season yet, so please don't spoil it for me. Kind of heard mixed reviews about it, so I hope I still like it a lot. Anyways, so how has Glee impacted my life? A few different ways. Um, I was in high school when I first started watching Glee. I don't remember which grade I was in. I think I was like either sophomore or junior. I don't remember which. So, anyways, and I started watching it, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the music in it. I loved the stories. I loved the characters. Well, okay, I didn't love Rachel Berry at first, but who did? She grows on you. She grows on you. Anyways, but I think one of the main reasons why I connected with the show so much and why it impacted me is because I would watch the TV show and watch their choir, and I'd be like, that's my school. That is our choir. I know exactly how they feel. I know what it's like to be the lowest of the groups in the school, because I live in a small town, tiny town, and yeah, and we have one choir. We used to have two choirs. We used to have just like a general choir where people would learn how to sing as a choir and learn certain music stuff. And then we had another choir that you had to audition for, which you still don't really have to know how to read music to be in it. But you did other things. Like not only did you have your regular concerts, but you did like a cabaret and you had to audition to get in. So it was a little more special. But due to funding, another topic on Glee all the time, they ended up having to cut that choir because they needed one performing arts teacher instead of two, so the band teacher left and the choir teacher became band teacher, the choir teacher, and the head of drama. Big job. That's a lot to do. So yeah, so our choir was very much the same with New Directions. We were not really like thought highly of. Hardly anybody came to our concerts. We looked ridiculous on stage. So I was just like, oh, I know how they feel. So that was one way. Um, I don't know if it really was like an impact or it's just like a connection or what. But another way that it did impact me, also due to a connection, but I guess impacts and connections are the same thing. I mean, for something to impact you, you have to have a connection to it in some way. So whatever. Was that I would watch the show and this was when I first started getting into musical theater. Um, and we used to have shows at our school. Like my first few years there, we had some musicals and some shows, but they slowly died off like everything else. The only thing there now is a band. Our choir is even completely gone. It's very sad. But we do have a small town theater that has a summer season, and they do an adult show, a children's show, and a show kind of like in between. So I was trying to get involved with that, and I got involved with my first musical, and I absolutely loved it. We did Pippin, which was kind of considered the adult show just because of the content in it. Um, and I loved it. I loved singing the numbers. I loved doing the dance. I loved being ridiculous characters. I wasn't an actual like casted character that had a name, but I was a part of the chorus, and I was like random people here and there for different scenes. And I really enjoyed it. I really liked just being ridiculous on stage, and even though I didn't have like a big part, I got to do some really fun things. And I just really liked becoming a different person. Anyways, I'm talking too much about theater and not enough about Glee. Anyways, so I had just started getting into musical theater and thinking about, oh, I really enjoy this. This is something I want to look into. And at the same time, all these other people in Glee are like being exposed to musical theater, except for Rachel, who's been exposed to it her entire life, as she mentions multiple times. But um, so I guess it kind of like laid out. Okay, here's what it is. Here's how hard it is. Here's what you got to do. I mean, not like a checklist thing, but it kind of like made me realize, okay, here's some things I should probably check into. Um, And I mean, they're told again and again that they're just wasting their time and that they're never going to be anything, but they don't give up, which is what I really like because I don't know, like it's a lot of times I want to give up simply because I live in a cluster of small towns, so it's really hard for me to actually be in good productions. I mean, not that our productions aren't good, but like just places that are able to do bigger things. But yeah. So it just kind of like opened me up to the theater world a little bit, which was like perfect timing. Some other things are the stories that they do. I love how they, um, my sister's cat just like came in here and randomly flopped on the floor. So if you heard a noise, that was her. Oh, now she's gone. Okay. Anyways, the stories. I love how they top. Oh, I'm talking so fast, I'm not saying the right words. I love how they touch on topics that teens go through in school, like sexuality, being bullied, teen suicide, teen pregnancy. What else is there? You have like the different stereotypes that they just kind of end up breaking. Like you have Puck, who's considered the blowout kid because he just screws around with everything and doesn't care. But he eventually ends up pulling himself together, and I think that could be a very good example for a lot of people to stick with something. Um, they have Mercedes and oh, what's her name? I don't remember her name. It was the girl, the bigger girl that was had a thing with Puck for a little while. How these two girls are bigger, but oh my gosh, are they beautiful? And are they fantastic at what they do? I mean, like, I honestly could not picture Mercedes being a size 5. It just would be wrong. Um, you have Finn, the popular kid, who ends up kind of like making Glee a little more acceptable, and he gets made fun of by all the football teams and stuff. Oh my gosh, that episode with the football team and the Glee kids, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was amazing because it was such a good example of things that go on all the time in schools, and it needs to stop. It's ridiculous. But Kurt and Blaine, their story, um, Kurt's story in general. Kurt's my favorite character. um, Santana's story. See, cat. Santana's story and how she struggles with her sexuality for a while and finally comes to terms with it and feels so much better. Rachel's story, how she's the Broadway fanatic and she is, oh my gosh. I mean, yes, she's annoying sometimes, especially in the first season. But you have to admit, oh my gosh, she is driven. She is passionate. She's gonna do it, no matter what it takes. It's gonna happen for her. Who else is there that I like that I can talk about? Mr. Schuster, how he brings together these misfits and makes them feel like they're not alone. He makes them feel like they belong to something, and he inspires them through the music. I mean, a little bit ago, I was trying to figure out what I want to do with college, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, I could be a music teacher. I mean, it'd be awesome to try and attempt to do the things that this character in Glee is doing. It's just phenomenal. And I was thinking about my school, how they don't have a choir anymore, and how, I mean, I know our choir teacher has a big job, but she's not the most motivated and determined person to make things good. She settles, which if you're doing performing arts, you can't just settle. You have to be good. And so I thought it would be awesome to be a person who inspires people like that. I realized it wasn't for me, but I mean, those people who do that, kudos to you, because it's fantastic, and the world needs people like that, especially the performing arts world, which is slowly falling out of schools, sadly. I cat is such a spaz. But yeah, so there's just, um, Yeah, I think I've touched on all the things. Ah, my screen went black. Okay. I think I've touched on all the ways that it's impacted my life. Just to believe in yourself and not give up. And if you want to do something, just do it. Which I really need to tell myself. And I think I have finally started to tell myself this week, um, officially. But you leave my laundry bag alone? Anyways, yeah. I just think it's brilliant. I know a lot of people don't understand it because it's ridiculous. It's over exaggerated and it's a satire, which is part of the point of it. Is like it lightens all the other situations. I mean, you have Sue Sylvester who makes everything ridiculous, but it lightens these serious topics of teen suicide and people getting in car accidents and teen sexuality. And stop it! She's chewing on my dream catchers. That's not allowed. Anyways, but yeah, just lots and lots of things that I've already mentioned. Um, so yeah, I think that's it for now. So bye.